Hey guys, welcome back to Doremicom channel. This is part 2 of the Season 2 award show. We are continuing where we left off with question number 4, which happens to be, oh yeah, by the way, this is my panel. You see him. Here we go. Okay, so question number 4 is, what was the biggest news story for tabletop gaming in general in 2010? And for this, we're going to go ahead and start back up with WarGamePainting.
Oh, man, there's a bunch of them, but I got to go with War Machine Mark II coming out. I think, honestly, out of everything that came out in 2010, I think that hit a nerve in every gamer somewhere along the line. People who played 40K all the time heard about War Machine. They knew it. It got pressed. It's sprouting up everywhere.
All right. SolidSmurf.
I'm going to go with, there's two, actually. The release of Warhammer Fantasy 8th Edition and the Jarvis sex scandal.
Because that had anything to do with tabletop gaming. All right.
It did. Jarvis, he wrote 8th edition, and I read that story, and I was shocked. My jaw hit the floor.
Nice. Tony, what's your answer?
I think GW made some kind of announcement where they weren't going to do so much Grand Tournament support, or they weren't going to be supporting tournaments too much, and they reaffirmed their standpoint that, you know, the game is meant to be played from a fun perspective and not a tournament competitive perspective. And I really think that diminished the hopes of a lot of competitive gaming and really just kind of devalued the product for them. So to me, that was a tremendous announcement that GW was almost stepping back and allowing War Machine and Hordes Privateer Press to kind of step forward a little bit and become a little bit more serious of a game.
All right. My take on this is I really have two, and they're really, really close, but I'm going to go ahead and order them. The runner-up is definitely GW releasing an FAQ for every single army in Warhammer Fantasy Battles all at once. It's like they were watching the show and realizing what they were goofing with. But number 1 is Mark II for Warhammer Hordes coming out. It was a huge release, and got picked up by a lot of people. It was really hard to find templates for the games. Continued discussion. Do we have any runner-ups or anything like that going on?
I want more details on the Jarvis sex scandal that SolidSmurf just covered.
It was dirty with a capital D.
Well, on a serious note, I do have to admit that there was definitely runners-up all year.
Yeah.
In gaming. I mean, I'm sure that there's games that I've never even heard about that came out and just made impressions on people. So, but, you know, the big ones, the big daddies on the field are War Machine and 40K and, you know, the shadow, Colossus shadow.
You know, something that definitely fell into that shadow is like XILIS, which incorporates a PC program while you game where it actually like stat tracks and stuff down to the point where they're using, you know, we talked about, putting miniatures on a sensitive display and it knew all the stats of it, and they're doing that now with this game. I mean, just all sorts of, nobody's heard about this. If you walk into a GW store and go, hey, have you heard about XILIS? They go, Blood Angels. I mean, so.
I love the retard head, too.
Nice.
I mean, and it's really cool technology that a lot of companies could jump on, but it's probably not going to be around next year. I think it's a big deal.
Awesome.
Never even touched the game, but it's a cool concept.
It is a very cool concept. Microsoft Surface is definitely probably part of the puzzle for some of the stuff that's going on new with tabletop gaming. They definitely have touched on how to utilize. Smurf's totally disagreeing with what I'm saying, clearly. No, they've already used this same technology for the role-playing environment, and they've done a lot of demos for it, so I wouldn't be shocked if something like that were coming soon to the tabletop area. We're going to go ahead and move on to question number 5, which is, what was the biggest 2010 news story for gaming outside of the tabletop genre? For this, we're going to start with SolidSmurf.
California's ban on violent video games and that whole court thing. I mean, I know people who have never touched a video game or tabletop game, all the way down to the little 10-year-old kid that came into my work and loved playing on his DS. Everyone was talking about this, and it's still going on. I mean, that's a big deal, and it could change the way games are played.
Yes, we'll all return to becoming like we're citizens of Australia, where no blood is ever allowed. Tony, you're up.
That was yet another thing I didn't know, so excuse me while I crawl out of the rock I've been hiding under for 2010. I would have to say that I have to lean to Microsoft's release of Kinect for the Xbox 360. Although I don't think the gaming platform for it is really substantial right now, I think it's taking the Wii to the next level where we're eventually not going to be really playing with controllers. We'll just strap something onto our hand and we will be immersed in a more virtual game, and we'll actually start to get away from the fat 40-year-old on his couch who can't move because he's consumed the controller and the rest of the system into his body. People might actually start to get up and actually interact with the gaming system and start to be a little bit more athletic so they can actually walk out the door. I think that'd be a good step forward.
Awesome. John.
Okay, there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot, and it's all right about here. And my pick is right about here. Right about there, a little bit off the screen. Everybody at this panel knows what I'm talking about. Because they're all laughing. They all know. StarCraft 2's release. Right, Boom. Number one gaming news, period. I will go to war for them. StarCraft 2.
Wow. Okay. I completely disagree with John, and we'll probably go to complete blows over this later on. But there is actually my runner-up. I'm sorry, I have to talk about this. Is how much of the board gaming environment is starting to be represented for use on iTouches and iPads. Huge shift in this, and it might actually reinvigorate the whole notion of board games. But the number one is Sony and Microsoft finally raising their heads up, realizing that Nintendo was spanking them and trying to bring out motion-controlled type engines, and really kind of failing at it. So, continued discussion.
Who's failing at it? Microsoft or Sony? Or
well, really? Let me put it this way: it's underperforming. There's a lot of reports already on the net talking about how Kinect is not as sensitive as it needs to be. So you jump because you're really excited in a particular game, and your character should be jumping, and there's that lag. Sony's sale of the Move is not really meeting expectations whatsoever.
Okay. So you were complaining about the further discussion. Tony and I look like we're about to rip your head off. But I'm going to jump in here because I'm from New York, and that's what I do. I've played on the PS3.
Way to stereotype.
Exactly, absolutely.
You're not even near New York City. I'm closer to New York City than you. What are you talking about?
You wait in line.
There's a lot of love and community here. This is what we instill in RTD.
I've played on the PS3, and that's a great interactive system. I think it was spot on. I did the archery and the gladiator fighting, and it was really cool. It was like I didn't look like a retard playing with the little bobblehead guy. It's like bloop, bloop, bloop.
Hey John, I have a question. John, I have a question for you. Have you yourself purchased a PS3 and a Move?
Yes.
Liar. You have not.
True story. It's in my Amazon cart right now. Just like
break. Show it out.
It's close enough.
Okay,
it's close enough.
I was about to say completely sit down, but now I'll just go. We'll wait until you get it. I'm not saying that. It's bad. I'm saying that it underperformed on sales. So your review of it is not going to be indicative of whether or not it did well. Tony, did you want to go ahead and slam my comment as well?
You're not holding anything, and you're controlling a thing on a TV that's communicating with outer space. What more do you possibly want that there's a little bit of lag? You sound like a guy who flew on a Concorde and complained there was no peanuts. You were in a chair in the sky. What more could you possibly want? I mean,
I want a cookie.
I'm not. Tony, you and I actually agreed with what the number one story was, so I don't quite know what you're arguing with me about. But
it's lagging. Of course, it's going to lag. You're not doing anything to it. You're doing this, and it's like, I got to jump now. Of course, it's going to lag. I mean, come on, you're right. See, you go fix it. I mean, good God, I'm going to complain about it. I'll sell it. All right, I'll sell it. You fix it. I like that agreement.
Tony, clearly one of the developers on the Kinect system, a little upset with me right now. Any other discussion before we move on to question number 6?
Yeah. I got to go ahead and jump in here real quick. As awesome as these interactive things are, nothing beats sitting on my butt, drinking a Coke, clicking a mouse and a keyboard. If I have to stand up and go, whee, to make the character on the screen go, whee, I'd just rather hit X. I mean, honestly,
let's see that. You know what? See John go, whee.
You know what's better than pretending? You know what's better than pretending to play soccer? Playing soccer. That's all I'm going to say.
Outside is for losers. Who goes outside anymore? I mean, honestly,
hyper uneasy.
No one would go outside wearing what you're wearing right now. So.
For your information, I go out of the town like this all the time.
I was about to say there, Tony. I think the Joker would definitely go out in that suit. Okay, John, it's Fly. It's Fly, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you taking it to the next level.
You know, I'm not wearing anything under this. I'm just going to take it off. I mean, if that's what you guys want. I mean, if you keep pushing it, I'm just going to take it off. I mean,
no, John,
I don't have that problem.
John, quite literally,
drop the call.
Out of the four of us here, out of the four of us here, you're over 9,000. Now back to question
Only
number
nerds will understand what that means.
So question number 6.
Watching this.
What was? You know what? Why are you constantly slamming a show you're a part of? Anyways.
Anyone can.
By the way, I am cutting out a lot of people. I really will be. I'll be like, oh, funny not. Funny not. Anyways.
The dictatorship we live in, the fascist regime, which is RTD.
Yes. I got your back, Brian. Absolutely. So what was the biggest 2010 news story for our community in YouTube? This is going to be an interesting topic, which I really can't wait to hear people's opinion on. We're starting with TonyPonyF.
I think that Beast of War, which shook up YouTube and shook up our online gaming community, our online tabletop community, saying they're going to go to a website and really just transforming their channel into the place to look for old news, to daily tips about, hey, if you roll a 6, it's a good thing. The community has shifted from the biggest channels being the YouTube centerpiece to now being their own, I'll come to our independent website. So I think the migration away from our community to their own isolated event was the biggest news, and I think it was definitely a blow to everybody and made us rethink what we're really doing.
All right. John from WarGamePainting.
Okay, I got a lot of thought, and I got to go with, you know what, the biggest impact for me on YouTube was, other than a lot of the mainstream channels just kind of not putting out a lot of material anymore or subpar material. I'm not going to point fingers, Blue Table Painting, Mini War Gaming, Beast of War. But it was YouTube kind of like integrating the Facebook aspect where it was changing every like 2 hours for like 6 months. It was like, oh, I'm going to sign in. What is this? This doesn't look, oh, okay, it is YouTube. And I'd go back, leave, channel, surf, go Reddit, something, come back to YouTube. What is this? This isn't, where's my like little bar that gives me my notifications and everything? Like, why would they change that on me? I don't know.
I wish I had answers for you, John, because that's a sore spot for me too. SolidSmurf, what's your answer?
Mine is a man. One man showing his face. And that is Shiznaft coming out and making an appearance.
Wait. What episode was that? Because I didn't see it. Let me write that down.
Episode 5, Tony.
It was
episode. All right. What part? Because I can't watch all the parts.
No, he's in the whole thing. He's a panel member.
I got an episode 5. Got it. All right.
All right.
Going back.
Oh, man. All right. Unfortunately, I have a tie for this. YouTube's new horrible interface. Could not agree more. Basically, I can't decide if they think I'm now using my phone as my interface only instead of real computer, or if they're trying to be more like Facebook, which is a site that I completely hate. Anyways, the other side of the biggest news story has to be the disappearance of channels and people just really, really not putting out the same amount of content. And I'm torn because, like John was saying, we definitely have these situations where groups of channels are kind of coming together, and I applaud people's collaboration, but it's not on the same level that we had before everyone started kind of doing their own thing and abandoning, in effect, the community that is YouTube. Continued discussion.
I got a couple of things to add. First, I, as John from WarGamePainting,
Nobody cares.
have no ties at all to the Doremicom channel, the SolidSmurf channel, or TonyPonyF.
Thank you for putting that out there.
That being said, it's not just the fact that channels are dying off. I mean, I myself haven't put out videos in God knows how long. I haven't seen one of Tony's videos. I love them, Tony, I do, but I haven't seen any in like years. Smurf even, he's kind of like died off.
Hey, I put out one like a month ago.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But it's
You
not
couldn't
only
find
that,
it on the new interface.
Exactly.
But it's just the quality. And again, you know, I don't like pointing names because people's feelings get hurt, and it's got to be a touchy-feely thing. But Beast of War, Mini War Gaming, Blue Table Painting, Girl Painting, Terrainaholic.
Wow.
Am I forgetting anyone?
I'm going to lose all my subscribers, but I'm not going to edit this part.
Because you own it, because you lost the last one.
Again,
But,
John's
you know,
opinion.
It's just like this lack of enthusiasm, or just complete wrongness, or, you know, I might be guilty of it too, just putting stuff up that people don't find interesting. I mean, it's like, yeah, you can talk about the same video for 25 minutes, 3 times in a row, Terrainaholic. But, you know, when you cut out all the fat, you've got a 5-minute video that you just spanned to cost 60 hours. I can't get the 60 hours back. So, I mean, I've unsubscribed from like 90 channels in the last week because it's just like, you put out the same video. You realize that, right? It's like the same video. You just said the different things every time. Like, the same thing, different ways. It's like, oh, oranges are orange. The next video, you'd say, guess what's orange? Oranges. And then the next day, guess what? Oranges are orange. And it's like, yeah. So, you know, it's like, get your stuff together, YouTube channels, put out content, put some thought into it before you put it up. Just
I think I could have compressed John's rant into about a 5-second rant as opposed to what
pretty
he
much
just did.
every channel except for Doremicom, SolidSmurf, TonyPony, and myself, all their channels are just terrible right now.
I can speak from my channel's perspective. This name should actually be changed because I haven't even looked. He's so disinterested. I can't talk when the host goes away. Look what you did, John. You drove our leader away. All right, the leader's back. Okay. So, first of all, I should change this name up here because obviously this channel hasn't produced anything and I'm only on the Sustainable Center. But the reason I haven't put out videos lately is because I've always prided myself on trying to put out videos that I felt added value to the community. I didn't want to put out crap. And lately, I don't see a source where I can tremendously add any value in any one particular area. I feel that 40K and fantasy have kind of become washed down. I don't have enough experience in War Machine or Hordes to really be a good reflective voice of that. I like Flames of War, but I haven't really played any games, so that's kind of useless. I can't really paint. So for me, it's an issue of there's also an abundance of channels out there putting out so much volume that to get recognized as putting out anything of good content is just not going to come about. The interface sucks on YouTube now, and it's just it's an issue of if I can't feel that I'm going to put out a good value output, I'm not going to create a video. And I think a lot of the more senior channels are experiencing that feeling as well.
Well, you know, and I get a lot of PMs, guys, about this. A lot of people actually write to me and say, you know, I'm a new channel, I don't know what to put out. And there's actually a lot of frustration over some of the bigger channels because they do it's their livelihood. They're putting out 4 videos a day. And covering the topics with enough effort that you know, a young kid just starting out on YouTube really has nowhere to go, as far as, you know, bringing up something that hasn't been covered over 800 or 900 times. Even the, you know, the very talented painters that are out there are getting to the point where, I'm posting my 19th painting video, and there's not enough diversity, so there's a slight trickle off on their subscriptions and whatnot. All I can say, and this is really important message for you guys, if you are an independent channel, and by that I mean you are not paid to do your work, which should be like 90% of us. I mean, you do have the Blue Table Paintings, you have, some of the channels that are shingles, they're shops, right? If you are an independent channel and you are frustrated, I can say that you're not alone in this, and that the greatest benefit you can bring to YouTube, quite honestly, is to show your diversity. Because a lot of these channels that are beholden to things, whether or not they're sponsored by particular companies or they're trying not to offend people because they're selling something, you have the flexibility that they don't. And I would highly recommend you guys exploring that as much as possible. And I'm hoping that
another tip.
Yeah, go ahead, Smurf.
Don't do this. I just got this new model, guys, and it's really cool. Isn't it amazing? And yeah, bye.
Don't agree with that. I gotta say, I don't have as many subscribers as I think anybody on this panel, but you gotta diversify. You gotta do something that makes your channel stand out from everybody else. I mean, if you're gonna do a painting video, do something unique about it. I don't know, like, I'm not going to go into description. I wasn't going to say it because we're on Doremicom's channel. Go to my channel later, and I'll post a video of how to, make it more entertaining for the rest of us. And just do something unique, like put music to the background, do something, or experiment, branch out, go for a walk and just rant. I don't know, just do something, And the other thing is, regardless of the level that you are, subscription-based, I'm from New York. My excuse today. Don't let trolls get you down, because they're everywhere. Trolls are like a dime a dozen.
They're like cancer.
Not even. Just don't even pay attention to them. If somebody says, "Oh, you suck," tell them to shut up, block them, and people get the message. Doremicom's channel is a good example of that. Nobody gives him crap on any of his videos because they know.
Because he edits it out
as soon as they do.
What? I don't
edit it out.
I don't edit it out because John's not talking about.
I don't like that comment.
giving me gruff here. It's on the comments below in the doobly doo, dude. If you curse, boop, bye, and it's really that simple.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, trolls typically don't have enough wherewithal to come up with clean comments. So
that's why I'm a troll, Yeah.
You can, because I love it when people disagree with me. I do. I really do. But if you got a curse to do it, it's not worth my time and effort. And by the way, part 2 is much longer part than part 1. And we're going to continue now to question number 7, which is give a prediction, no matter how outlandish, about what's going to happen in 2011. All right, and for this, we are going to start with TonyPonyF.
Well, I'm going to put out more videos in 2011 than 2010, which means I have to make about 6 to clear that bar. I will be relocating, actually, to Doremicom's lair in about the next few weeks, so that'll be really cool. Hopefully, some of my videos will come through that portal. And I'll be getting married in May, so a lot of stable predictions. So I think I'm going to win next year. What was the least outlandish predictions? Because I just made very stable predictions.
John, you're up. John, your prediction. Prediction. John.
My prediction is also very possible, being as if Tony's moving to the lair of Doremicom. That's just creepy, by the way, Tony. But that there's going to be 3 live in-person RTDs next year.
Wow.
That's a lot.
You're putting a lot of pressure on me. SolidSmurf, you're up, man.
Under pressure.
Next year, that over the course of the RTDs, there will be more cowbell. A lot more.
So that means 1 ring because there was none last year.
First, there will be cowbell.
All right. Anyways, episode 1 of season 3 will not have any audio or video issues, and it will be the first time in RTD history that episode 1 will actually be clean. That's my prediction.
Well, we know who's going to lose next year is most likely to be correct prediction.
Win the lottery?
And because I'm stuck with Uvu, there's no chance I'm going to have that happen. No, come on. Season 1, it was the very first episode we ever did. Season 2, we were at Dale's and we had 3 fans going on and barely could. I did a lot of editing.
I still have smoke in my lungs currently. every time I cough, it's just like smoke comes out. But I'd like to thank the Academy and all of my subscribers for making this possible.
Please leave the stage. Okay. Hey, guys, thank you very much for showing up for Season 2, the final episode, the award show. And we're going to be coming back to you live. Season 3 will definitely be coming on a much more frequent basis than in Season 2, where we kind of stacked everything towards the end of the year. So hopefully you guys look forward to that. And hopefully I'll still have subscribers after I leave John's comment in. Have a good one. Bye. Hey guys, I just realized we never said who won the Season 2 winner for the $50 giveaway. That is number 1 Gamer Ash, so congratulations. You please send me a PM and I will, with an email address, and I will get out the code so that you can purchase $50 of goodies from Sci-Fi Genre.